Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. This is Bridges, where we talk about relationships and how they affect your growing in life. Now before I go ahead, I want to thank all of you who have subscribed to my channel. It's really a young channel. I've been doing this offline, but in recent times I feel I need to reach a wider set of people. I decided to go into YouTubing. It's not been an easy experience. I'm learning on the job, and you guys have been wonderful because you believed in what I have to offer and you have subscribed to my channel. I'm really grateful. And if you just stumbled into this channel, I will still be grateful to you if you subscribe, share our videos, like, so that we can reach a wider population. Thank you once again. In today's video, I am going to be telling you people you have to avoid. This is something I've gotten from my personal experiences, from consulting, from interactions, doing business every day, and from everything that has formed the basis for my own experience, and I want to share them with you. Today's video is going to be useful to someone who has been in a relationship and can't figure whether they like that relationship or not, or to people who are about to enter relationships, and probably everyone. Now let me put up this disclaimer. I am not telling you to be hateful or hate anyone, not tolerate people, but most times in life, what you cannot handle will either break you or sink you. So that is the reason it will be important to know what you can handle, what you can deal with, and what you cannot deal with. The earlier you understood that it is not every relationship that you should be in that is readily available and you should latch onto, and the better it is for you and your growth as a person and your success even in your relationship. Now, why I said you should avoid these people, it could be your place of work, it could be anywhere, you can even be in that relationship, is to foster some further happenings from this kind of relationship. Maybe these people can be good for others, or like I said in one of my videos, that it's not everyone that is built for a particular relationship. There are people that can come into a particular or meet a particular person and get on very well with them, even with these issues I'm going to talk about. But there are also people who come into it and that becomes the beginning of their woes. So knowing what you can pull through with and what you cannot is better for you in any relationship. And if you see these signs, they are danger signs. The first set of people that I will talk about are emotional people. People are very emotional. Yes, God created us with certain level of emotions, but when you are not able to harness those emotions and use them positively, it can be a problem for you. At this particular point I'm talking about, I had that experience as a young person growing up. And then I had a lot of people on my trail. When you're a promising young lady, you're going to see people fly around. In fact, it got to a point that my friends were like, is she the only person? Why is every guy all around her? They want her. She's not even beautiful. She's not this, she's not that. Well, I don't know what their own definition of beauty is, but to those people who were flocking around me, particularly for relationships, they had their reasons. But there's this person I came across that I picked most of my lessons from. And it was easier because I tried as a young person then not to put myself into anybody that comes my way, so that I won't be making mistakes. I drew my lessons from my parents, the issues they had, and from all the teachings I had, both from church, both from seminars and other things. So those lessons came very early in life, that they were very helpful when it came to decisions about relationship, about love, about even doing business with people. So I met this guy. He's such an emotional person. What do I talk about? Emotions. People who are very emotional, they let their emotions take over them always, that they do not allow reasoning get a better hold of them. You know what they do? They cry always. They don't reason. They make you break down with them, that you will accept just anything to please them. This particular guy, it's always crying. You hear words like, if you don't marry me, I will die. If you don't do this, I will die. And then in my secret moments, I was like, am I really, I don't know what I was just stuck, like, being someone that is very empathetic, I show sympathy. In short, most times I carry people's load on my head, and for people like that, these people can get into you, that if you are not careful, you make the wrong choices and mistakes. So avoid people who are emotional. They cry and they tell you, and their reasons for crying is not very important. They just want to get you into that corner and use sentiments to pin you down, that you make wrong choices. And most times when you want to tell yourself the honest truth, you don't really see any reason for accepting that relationship or their proposals or whatever. So avoid people who are very emotional. Number 2, manipulators and users. Anybody that practices what I talked about in number 1, somebody that uses emotions as a cobweb over you, might still be in this class. Manipulators and users. Anybody that takes advantage of you when you are at the lowest ebb of your life, when you have problems, when something has gotten a hold of you, that you are down emotionally and you are taking wrong decisions, and the person now cashes into it to get whatever they want from you, either for sex, either for money, either for whatever. If you're in that kind of relationship, just keep running, move away from it. A friend will never take advantage of you or use you when you are not in your right state of mind or in the best form of yourself. Another set of people you should run away from are willless and indecisive people. People who cannot make decisions for themselves or stand on ones that are made already. They are hazy and tossed about by every form of any form of idea. They cannot stand on themselves. They can easily be dissuaded. Or their minds can easily change by the influence of friends, the influence of even parents, relations, and what have you. I'm not saying that it's not good to take advice from people, but I'm trying to talk about people who cannot make decisions on their own or of their own. They rely on every form of things that are thrown on them to move on in anything they want to do. They also want to get validation from every quarter. They just cannot decide what they want, how they want it, when they want it, and all that. Those kind of people will be a problem to you. You will also need to avoid time wasters. Time wasters. All they talk about is having fun. They never make you commit resources in meaningful adventures, and they outline difficulties in any process that will add to your life or any action you want to take to improve yourself. They do not encourage you to grow. They will tell you not to take up that project. They will tell you not to enroll in that academic pursuit. They will tell you all the things you should not be doing and how much there is lion on the way and all the negative aspects of the things you want to go into. Not necessarily because they are right, but because they want to protect themselves from their insecurities and their jealousies. So maybe when you take up those activities, you get better than them and all that. So time wasters, run away. How many of you have been stuck for years in something you should have finished just because somebody entered your life or you entered into someone's life? I don't know. Just look at it. Or maybe you are still going to enter there and you see these signs. I will tell you from a friend's point of view, run away. Those that always have excuses not to commit financially, If you have a friend or you're in a relationship or you are going into any venture where those people that you are entangled with always have reasons not to commit financially, oh no, you are in for a long thing. You're going to be experiencing some of the things I talked about in some of my videos about relationships. People who cannot commit financially, they want you to carry all the burdens. Even when they have, they hide it. When they don't have, they complain. You know, there's no time they are good. There's always something to make them push the responsibility back to you. I don't know how far you can go with such people, but I would say that's a very big danger sign. Whenever they have money, there's always a very sad news that will make them not to do what they should have done for you. This one, pay attention. Jobless but searching people. If a man, you're a woman that have been entangled with someone or is about to get entangled with someone or people, whether business or whatever, relationship, but particularly relationship this time around, with people who are jobless, they don't have a job and they are searching. Yes, it is true that at any point in time, it's possible you don't have a job, but what is your potential of having a job? If you meet people that they don't have that potential to get a job or have a job, they don't have a, what do I call it? A value. You don't see any future. They're always having reasons why for 10, 20 years, they have not been able to find something meaningful doing or even start up something or start a business. Those people, they're almost everywhere. As women, they are looking for men who have made it. As men, they are looking for women who have made it. Oh God, some of them even go ahead to have sugar daddies, sugar mommies, just because they are looking for people who have made it. You will never see them encourage themselves to find a source of livelihood. Don't get me wrong, there are people who don't have a job today and tomorrow they are cashing out. They are making it big. It's because they have the potential to get a job, to create a job, to even manage another person's business or job or what have you. But if you see that person that doesn't have that capacity, that growth potential, run away. And in most cases, they are always talking about millions, billions. They are always talking big and making you feel like they have it all and they will make your life better, make you promises here and there. But let me tell you, if the person doesn't have a degree or an education, the person doesn't have any idea in business, hasn't done anything before, the person has been supported for years by friends, families, and cronies, or whatever, the person has not made conscious effort to settle for something, no matter how little or big, that he can fall back to at the end or beginning of any month to say, this is where I make my living. This is what I can fall back to put food on my table, to solve my problems, to pay my bills. Then, there is a problem. You are going to be carrying the load of that relationship for as long as you are in it. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you even go as far as encouraging them, getting them a job, and sometimes they tell you, I cannot settle for that. I cannot do this type of job. I cannot do this type of job. People who are jobless and searching seriously, you meet them today, they are making plans to wed, marry, have a society wedding, but there is no clue as to where the funds are going to come from or the resources they are planning in your pockets. And they are... I hope you understand what I'm talking about. May God give you wisdom to be able to spot them, because at first, they are not really easy to spot because they have all the language, they have all the tactics, they know everything to keep you down in that relationship. People who exploit you sexually. Yes, if you have people that each time you meet, all they talk about is how curvy you are, how romantic, how your eye looks where, all they talk about is sex, sexual things. They walk you up. They don't make you reason like a human being. All they want is to exploit you. They meet you. They've started. In fact, just the attraction, the meeting point is sex and sexuality. So tell me how you are going to sustain that kind of relationship in a world where everybody is on the move, challenges are here and there, and all the attraction and everything that is bringing that person to you or you to that person is just sex. It's not sustainable. Run away from people who exploit you sexually. Those that won't even make you make right decisions, that every time you meet them or they meet you is making you do the wrong things. Are you in that kind of relationship? I am telling you today as a friend and a sister to reconsider. They are manipulative, very manipulative. They tell you that if you don't give me sex, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, you don't love me. Show me that you love me. Things like that. Might be in the moons. It's not in reality. You might be enjoying it for the moment, all in the name that the person loves you. That is not love. Those people, run away from them. People who have had multiple sex partners. Yes. You know why you have to avoid them? They start equating you with all the experiences they've had. They are going to have problems. If you meet a man, a woman that can tell you give you a whole catalog of escapades that they've had sexually, I don't know, somebody might accuse me, but I'm telling you from an honest point of view that you are going to be unhappy in that relationship because they have expectations that you might not meet. They have templates you might not be able to play out. They have, in fact, you have I wish I can explain this point to you, that people who have had several sexual experiences carry with them baggages, carry with them traumas, carry with them experiences, carry with them spirits and things that either will be transferred to you or will fight you. So it is very, very healthy for you to avoid people that have had multiple sexual experiences. Well, sometimes it's good to help such people, but you might not be able to be the right help they need. I think they might need therapy, they might need experts, they might need to unclog. Otherwise, if you are going to be the healing factor, I don't know how experienced you are, I don't know how patient you are, I don't know how graceful you are to carry all the baggages that will come with that. I am not going to dwell much on it because we are not talking about the topic of sex. I'm just listing things to you. So from experience and encounters I've had with people of such type, there are many things attached to that. Run away from people who are impatient for discussions and people who dismiss your emotions. I'm not talking about being emotional at this time. People who don't understand the energy you're trying to let out. People who are impatient for discussions, they can't sit with you to talk. Anytime you bring up a matter, they snap and they dash out. Anytime you want to address a particular issue of concern, they will tell you, forget it, it's irrelevant. Anytime you want to let them know how you feel, they dismiss the emotion and say it's all in your head. It will get to a time when it will boil over and you can't take it anymore. If you don't have somebody that can sit as a friend, friends discuss, friends take shots, friends take anything, and with the aim of making it right or better, I will advise you avoid those who don't want to play that friendship role in your life and relationship. Everybody knows this one: bitter and angry people. It is true that at certain times in life we might not like some things, we display displeasure over some things. Is different from anger. People who are angry and bitter, you see them in a display of anger that you wonder why is just about this whole happening, or there's something else behind it. They throw things at you at every opportunity. They fling a pot on your head. They break glass on your head. They smash their phones. They do anything to you just to tell you that they are not happy with a particular thing. Oh, that is just something you cannot deal with. Run away from it. At every opportunity, they will tell you that it's over. At every opportunity, they will threaten you. At every opportunity, they will say things that a normal human being in his right senses might not do. Those are people that might not be meant for you. Like I said earlier, there are people that might be meant for them, but I'm talking to you as a friend. They might not be made or meant for you. These are not all the people you should avoid, but like I told you, I'm just mentioning 10 of them. If we are opportune next time, we might go ahead with danger signs and people you need to avoid in a relationship. It might not only be love relationship, it can be in your place of work. Pack your things, stay on your own, be in your corner. And if it is about love, relationship, and all that, please, please, please look into it. I know it's good to buy people excuses. I know it's good to tolerate. I know it's good to, but like I said, what you cannot cope with, you should be able to know. Until I come your way again next time, I am still your friend, Bridges. Bye.